The wind was cold. The night was silent. A single man walked across the rocky ground of an alien planet. His name was Jack Rivers. He was a human explorer from Earth. His ship had crashed 3 days ago. Now he was alone, tired, and looking for help or anything alive. Jack's boots crunched over dry red soil. The sky above was dark, filled with 3 moons. Strange plants glowed in the shadows. Nothing here looked like Earth. He had no radio signal, no food left, no weapons. Only a small flashlight and a broken knife. As he walked near a tall mountain, he heard something strange, a soft cry. It was weak, almost like a whisper. It came from the darkness of a cave nearby. Jack stopped. He looked around. The land was empty, no wind, no animals, but the sound came again, a quiet, shaky cry, like someone scared or in pain. He moved closer to the cave. "Hello?" he called out. "Is someone there?" No answer, just silence. Then, the sound of something moving inside. Jack's heart beat faster. He turned on his flashlight and pointed it toward the entrance. He saw nothing at first. Only rocks, dust, old bones of some animal. But then, something moved. A pair of glowing blue eyes stared back at him from the shadows. Jack froze. It was not human, not even close. Slowly a tall shape stepped out. Thin, with soft green skin and long arms. She wore torn clothes made from leaves and cloth. Her face was different, but her eyes, they were full of fear. She held something behind her. 2 small children, also alien, also scared. Jack raised his hands. "I'm not here to hurt you." The alien mother looked at him for a long time. Her lips trembled. Then she spoke in a low, broken voice. "You are human?" Jack nodded slowly. "Yes, my ship crashed. I'm alone." She stepped forward, still holding her children close. "You, not enemy." "No," Jack said. "I'm just trying to survive." Tears fell from the alien woman's eyes. "Please," she said. "Help us." Jack looked at her children. They were thin, shaking, and hungry. "What happened?" He asked softly. She pointed to the sky. "Bad people. They came. They killed many. My mate, he died. We ran. We hide here. No food, no water. If they find us, we die." Jack felt something in his chest. He didn't know this alien. He didn't know her story. But the fear in her voice, the way she held her children, it was real. He looked at the dark cave, then at the cold night. Behind him, he had no better plan. And they clearly needed help. He stepped forward and knelt down. "I can help you, but we must stay hidden." "Can you show me the back of the cave?" She hesitated, then nodded. "Come." They walked deep into the cave. The children followed, still silent, holding their mother's hands. Inside the cave was warmer. There were signs of life, old fire pits, dry blankets, strange tools. Jack sat down and looked at them. "My name is Jack. I am Laurie," the alien woman said. "These are my children, Kiri and Noan." The kids looked at him with wide, scared eyes. Jack gave them a weak smile. "Nice to meet you." Laurie watched him carefully. "Why?" "Help us? You are human. We are not." Jack sighed. "You're a mother. You're trying to protect your family. That's enough for me." Laurie blinked, surprised. No human had ever said something like that to her. Not before. Suddenly, outside the cave, a sound echoed. A sharp buzzing noise, far in the distance. Jack stood quickly. "What was that?" Laurie's face turned pale. "They're looking for us. They come in machines. They smell heat, movement." Jack looked at the cave walls. "Then we need to make this place safe." Now, he got to work. Blocking the entrance with rocks, covering their heat with old blankets. Using fire only for a short time, Laurie helped him. She watched how he moved, how he thought fast. She had never seen a human before, but now he was here. helping, protecting Dot when the children finally fell asleep beside the fire. Laurie sat beside Jack. "I was scared of your kind," she said. "But maybe I was wrong." Jack didn't say anything at first. He looked at the sleeping kids. "I didn't plan to find anyone here," he said. "But now I have. And I won't leave." Laurie looked at him, her eyes soft. Hope returned to her voice. "Then maybe we survive." The cave grew quiet again. But now it felt less empty. Jack looked into the dark, no longer afraid. Somewhere out there, danger was coming. But now, he had something to protect. Asterisk. The cave shook. Jack woke up fast, his hand on the broken knife. The fire was cold. The children were still sleeping. But something was wrong. He looked at Laurie. She stood at the mouth of the cave, frozen like a statue. Her eyes were wide. Her body was shaking. "What is it?" Jack asked, standing up quickly. "Laurie," he said again. But she didn't move. Then she whispered 2 words. "They're back." Jack ran to her side and looked outside. The sky was still dark, but far across the hills, a red light moved like fire. A strange low sound followed, like a growl mixed with thunder. Jack's heart dropped. "You said they left." Laurie looked at him with pain in her eyes. "I lied." Story continues below from this hook. Laurie turned away from the light and sat down near the wall. Her hands held her knees tightly. Her face looked tired, older. Jack crouched beside her. "Tell me the truth. Who are they? Why are they hunting you?" Laurie closed her eyes. "They were our protectors once. A powerful alien race. Strong, proud, but they wanted more. More power, more land, more children." Jack frowned. "What do you mean?" Laurie looked at him with sad, tired eyes. "They take mothers, not to kill, to breed, to make soldiers. They came to my village and took many. The others fought back. My mate died trying to stop them." She held her arms as if she was cold. "I ran. I took Kiri and Noan. I escaped through the forest and hid in this cave. I have been here ever since." Jack was quiet. He had seen war before, on Earth. But this was worse. "They want your children," he said. I nodded slowly. "Yes, they will raise them into monsters." Jack stood up and walked in circles. "We need a plan." "There is no plan," Laurie said. "Only death or hiding." "No," Jack said. "There's always a plan. They don't know I'm here. That's our chance." Laurie looked at him with new hope. "You would fight for us?" Jack looked at the 2 sleeping children. They curled up close to each other, unaware of the danger. "Yes," he said. "I would." Later that day, Jack and Laurie explored the back of the cave. He found an old tunnel, small but deep. "We can hide there if they come close," Jack said. "We'll make it tight and dark. They won't see us." Laurie helped him gather supplies. She showed him how to use a sharp leaf to make rope, how to cover heat with mud, how to use glowing mushrooms as quiet light. Jack was surprised. "You're smarter than you look." Laurie smiled for the first time. "So are you." As they worked, Laurie began to trust Jack more. And Jack began to understand her pain. She told him how her people used to live in peace, how they sang to the stars, how her mate used to make her laugh, how the sky turned red the day the hunters came. "I never thought I would speak to a human like this," she said. "I never thought I'd care about an alien," Jack replied. That night, the red light in the sky moved closer. Laurie watched it from the cave entrance. She turned to Jack. "If they find us, I will give myself up. Just promise me, you'll take the children and run." Jack stepped forward and looked her straight in the eyes. "No, we stay together. All of us. I'm not leaving anyone behind." Laurie's lips trembled. "Why? You don't even know us." "Maybe not," Jack said. "But I know what it feels like to lose everything. And I won't let That happened again. Suddenly, from outside the cave, the growling sound grew louder. They were coming. Laurie grabbed her children, and Jack picked up a sharp rock. Their hearts beat fast. This cave was no longer a hiding place. It was a battlefield. The sky was on fire. Jack stood outside the cave, his eyes fixed on the black shapes flying above. They moved like giant metal insects, their wings sharp and loud. Beside him, Laurie whispered one word: Dreckner. Jack felt cold inside. That's what they're called, Laurie nodded. Sky hunters, killers, they smell fear, they hear heartbeats. One of the ships stopped above the hill and hovered. A red beam scanned the ground below. The rocks began to glow. Jack pulled Laurie back. They're scanning the land. Laurie's hands shook. If they find our heat, they'll drop fire from the sky. The ground rumbled. Dust fell from the top of the cave. Jack looked at the kids. Kiri was holding her brother, trying not to cry. Laurie whispered, "They found U.S." Story continues after this intense opening. Jack pulled everyone deep into the tunnel. No sound, no light. Hold your breath if you have to. They crouched low in the dark. The tunnel was small and tight. Jack's back hit the stone. Laurie held both kids close, whispering soft words in her own language. Outside, the Dreckner ship roared. A heavy thump shook the ground. Something had landed. Jack peeked through a crack in the rocks. A tall creature stepped out of the ship. Its armor was black, its eyes red. It had 4 arms and carried a long glowing spear. Laurie whispered, "That one is a tracker. He smells blood." Jack looked at the knife in his hand, still stained from cutting himself the day before. A drop of blood was on the cave floor. His heart stopped. "They'll smell me," he whispered. "I left blood outside." Laurie grabbed his arm. "You must leave. Now take them through the tunnel. I'll lead them away." "No," Jack said. "I'll fix it." Before she could stop him, Jack crawled back toward the front of the cave. Quiet like a shadow, slow like a snake, he took the blood-covered rock and threw it far, deep into the bushes outside. The tracker turned. Its red eyes followed the sound. A second later, it shot a beam of fire into the trees. The ground shook again. Jack crawled back fast. "It worked. They think we ran." Laurie touched his shoulder. "You are brave, but they will come back." Later that night, the Dreckner ship flew away, but Jack knew they'd return. He and Laurie worked together to make traps. Sharp sticks hidden in the path, mud mixed with sleeping spores, firebombs made from glowing sap and cave gas. Jack smiled at Laurie. "You have the knowledge. I have the madness." She laughed softly. "We make a good pair." But the smile didn't last long. That night, as the children slept, Laurie sat beside Jack. "If they capture me," she said quietly, "they will take my mind, my memories, my love for my children." Jack looked at her. "Then we don't let them." She turned to him, her voice low. "If I ask you to be their father, will you say yes?" Jack didn't answer right away. He looked at the stars above. He was no longer just a lost explorer. He was the only shield between these children and death. And the sky was not done hunting yet. The cave was dying. Jack didn't know how to explain it. But something had changed. The air felt thick. The walls were wet with green liquid. Strange spores floated like dust. He woke up coughing. His skin itched. His head hurt. Laurie sat beside him, pressing a warm leaf to his forehead. "You breathe too fast," she said. "The cave is alive, but it does not know you." Jack tried to sit up but fell back. "What does that mean?" Laurie looked into the darkness. "This cave is old. It has grown for thousands of years. It protects, it hides, but to live here, you must earn its trust." Jack laughed weakly. "It's just rocks." Laurie shook her head slowly. "It's more. The cave has a heart, and right now, it thinks you are a threat." Story continues. From this strange and mysterious hook, Jack's vision blurred. His hands shook. He couldn't stand. The children watched him with wide, quiet eyes. Kiri whispered, "Is he going to die?" "No," Laurie said firmly. "Not while I still breathe." She stood up and walked to the back of the cave, deep into a narrow tunnel Jack had never seen. The light faded behind her. The children waited beside Jack. Minutes passed. Then an hour. Then finally, she returned, holding a soft glowing fruit in her hands. It pulsed like a heartbeat. She crushed it and fed the juice to Jack slowly. "This is cave fruit," she said. "It grows in silence. It listens before it feeds. It can heal. But only if it chooses you." Jack swallowed. His head cooled. His breath became steady. The burning in his blood faded. He looked at her, surprised. "What was that?" Laurie smiled. "A second chance." 3 days passed. Jack began to walk again. The air no longer hurt him. The cave walls now glowed gently. When he passed, "It knows you now," Laurie said. "You are part of this place." Jack touched the wall. "So, it's like a living home?" "Yes," she said. "But more. It remembers." Laurie brought him deeper inside. She showed him old carvings, drawings of her people hiding in this very cave many years ago, a mother holding her children. A figure standing beside her, human-shaped. Jack frowned. That looks like a man," Laurie nodded. "Long ago, a human helped my kind. Maybe it was you." Jack laughed. "I'm not that old. But you are the same type," Laurie said. "Maybe the cave remembers your kindness." That night, Jack sat alone by the fire. The kids were asleep. Laurie stood in silence across from him. She stepped forward. Her voice soft. "You almost died," she said. "And I felt something. Something I did not expect." Jack looked at her. "What?" "Did you feel that I could not lose you?" she said. "Not just for the children, for me." She knelt beside him. "I lost my mate. I buried my heart that day. But now, I see you." Jack said nothing. The fire cracked. Then Laurie whispered, "This cave gives life. It heals the broken. I think it brought you here for us." Jack looked at the cave walls, the glowing fruit, the ancient carvings, and then he looked at her. "I think it did," he said softly. Laurie reached for his hand. Outside, the wind howled. Inside, a new bond was forming, something stronger than fear, stronger than war. In the heart of the cave, something was growing, not just life, but love. Jack woke up to a soft sound, not danger, not machines, not wind. It was laughter. Kiri and Noan were playing near the glowing mushrooms, laughing for the first time since he met them. They chased each other through the small tunnel, their feet bare, their joy real. Jack watched them quietly. They looked normal, like any children on earth. No fear, no tears. Laurie sat nearby, carving a small toy from a smooth bone. Her hands moved with care. Her eyes were soft. She looked at Jack and spoke calmly. "They laughed because you stayed." Jack blinked. "I didn't do much." "Yes," she said. "You did what no one else did. You didn't run." Story continues from this emotional and heart-touching hook. That day, Jack helped Laurie teach the children. He drew maps in the dirt, told them stories of stars, oceans, trees. The children listened with wide eyes. Later, Kiri gave Jack a rock shaped like a heart. "I found this for you," she said. Jack smiled. "Thank you." She whispered, "Are you my new papa now?" Jack froze. He looked at Laurie, confused. She didn't speak. Her eyes were full of something deep, heavy. That night when the fire was low and the children slept, Laurie finally asked. Her voice was quiet, strong, unshaken. "Will you be their father?" Jack looked up from the fire. "That's a big question." "I know," Laurie said, "but it must be asked." Jack stood and walked to the edge of the cave. The stars above were unfamiliar. Not one looked like home. His real family was gone. Earth was far, maybe unreachable. I never thought I'd raise children, he said. Especially not alien ones. Laurie came beside him. They don't see you as alien. They see you as safe. As strong. I'm just a man, Jack said. I crash-landed. I didn't plan this. No one plans to become a father, she said. They become one when they choose to stay, when they protect, when they love. Jack was quiet for a long time. He looked back at the children, sleeping peacefully near the fire. Then he looked at Laurie. I don't know what I'm doing, he said. She smiled. Neither do I, but we can learn. Together. Jack took a breath and nodded. Okay, I'll be their father. The next morning, Laurie gave him a carved necklace, a symbol from her people. You wear this, she said, only if you are part of the family. He tied it around his neck. It was warm, like it had waited for him. Later, Jack began training the children. He taught them how to set traps, how to climb rocks quietly, how to signal without speaking. Laurie taught them how to listen to the cave, how to feel danger in the air. Together, they built something more than safety. They built a life, but peace never lasts forever. That night, Jack saw a red spark in the sky. It wasn't the DREKNAR. It was something else. Something human. Asterisk. The night was too quiet. Jack stood outside the cave, staring at the sky. No wind, no sound. Even the glowing plants had gone dark. He looked up. The red spark had grown larger. It now burned like a falling star. But it wasn't a star. It was a dropship, and it was heading straight for them. Jack ran into the cave. Laurie, get the children. She didn't ask why. She felt it too. Something terrible was coming. Kiri and no one were still half asleep when Laurie wrapped them in blankets and pulled them close. Jack grabbed the spear he made from metal scrap. He didn't know if it would help, but he would not die without fighting. Not tonight. 5 minutes later, the ship landed hard on the hill above the cave. Dust and heat shook the ground. The trees near the edge caught fire. Jack stood just inside. The cave mouth, chest rising, heart thumping. He looked at Laurie. If I don't make it. No, she said. Don't say that. I have to protect you. You are not alone anymore, she said. We fight together. Jack nodded. Then the scream came, high-pitched, inhuman, hungry. Metal legs hit the rocks. A Drekner soldier climbed down the hillside, larger than the last ones. Its armor glowing with red lines. It had 4 arms and carried a gun longer than Jack's leg. Behind it came more. 4, 6, 10. Jack swallowed hard. They brought an army inside the cave. Laurie led the children to the deepest part of the tunnel. She kissed both on the forehead. If I do not return, follow the river. Hide in the smoke trees. Remember who you are, Kiri cried. Don't leave us. I must, she said, because I am your mother. She turned and ran toward the sound of weapons. Jack threw his first firebomb. It exploded against the lead. Drekner's armor, lighting the creature in blue flame. It screamed but didn't stop. Jack stabbed it with the spear. It took 3 hits, but the thing finally fell. Then another rushed him. Jack dodged, slashed, kicked. He was fast. But they were many. Then Laurie appeared, leaping from the rocks above, screaming a war cry in her native tongue. She stabbed one in the eye with a bone knife. Jack grinned. I thought you stayed back. I changed my mind. Together, they fought like wild animals. They knew they wouldn't win, but they refused to lose. Then a sound broke the sky. A loud engine. A different ship. It was human. A rescue beacon, Jack's old signal, finally picked up. The new ship opened fire on the Drekner, blasting 3 off the CLIFFSID. Jack turned to Laurie. That's my people. She looked at him, face full of blood and firelight. "What will you choose?" she asked. "Earth. Or us?" Jack stared at the ship as it hovered above, ready to take him home. Then he looked at the woman he had come to love, the children he had sworn to protect, the cave. That had saved him. He made his choice and ran back into the fire. Smoke floated through the air like ghosts. The ground was covered in ash. The cave entrance was broken. Burned Dreckner bodies lay in silence. Jack stood at the edge of the hill, covered in dirt, blood, and sweat. The human rescue ship hovered above him, shining a bright white light down on his face. A voice echoed from the speaker. "Commander Jack Rivers, you are cleared for return to Earth." But Jack didn't answer. He wasn't looking at the ship. He was looking behind him. At Laari. Kiri and no one. At the only family he had left. The rescue officer stepped out of the ship, confused. "Sir, you've been missing for months. We thought you were dead." Jack didn't move. His voice was calm. "I was. But I'm not the same man now." "You've done your duty," the officer said. "Come home, rest, be safe." Jack turned around and looked at the cave. Laurie held the children's hands. Their faces were tired, but alive, safe because of him. Loved because he stayed. He walked back to them. Kiri ran forward and hugged his leg. "You came back." Laurie stepped closer. "Is Earth calling you home?" Jack looked into her eyes. "I already found home, that night." The rescue ship flew away. Jack didn't get on. He sat beside Laurie and watched the stars rise in the sky. 3 moons, purple clouds, a wind that hummed softly through the trees. He wasn't on Earth, but it no longer mattered. The children sat beside him, sleepy and warm. Kiri placed her hand on his. "Papa, will you build us a new home?" Jack smiled. "Yes." Laurie leaned against his shoulder. "Under these stars. We build together, later." They planted seeds in the soft cave soil. They built walls from stone and bone. Jack trained the children to protect. Laurie taught them to heal. They didn't just survive anymore. They lived. Years passed. And on quiet nights when the wind blew just right, the cave would still whisper. It told the story of a human who came from the sky, who fought like a warrior, who stayed like a father, and who loved like one of their own.